Hi, I'm Greg,
Hi, I'm Will.
and today is our 9th episode of Theme Parks and Patents, and we're going to do a first of 2 episodes on Rise of the Resistance.
Now, this isn't our normal patent video. We're not talking about a ride patent. We're actually talking about a prop patent, and these patents on the props actually kind of work like magic tricks.
So, Disney filed 2 patents out of Rise of the Resistance, and they're for 2 different kind of, like Will said, prop-type features that go on in the ride. And it's a little interesting how they did it.
And in my opinion, it's kind of like a magic trick.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about the ride, or should we just get right into it?
This one is gonna. I know I spent a long time on describing my Roger Rabbit video. Go watch it because it's really good. And this one, so it's like you're trying to save the Resistance, I think, and then you get captured by the First Order. And then, like, you get escaped by people. We're driving these little droids, but you constantly get, like, chased and captured. And, like, you avoid many obstacles. And, I wonder if there's a patent on this, but there's a scene where it's kind of like a motion simulator, and you drop, and it kind of makes you, like, rock like this. Do you know which part I'm talking about?
The end part.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a patent on that.
I don't know that there's any. So the only 2 patents I found on this are the 2 we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And the first one is going to be today.
Yes.
And what is interesting, and there'll be some overlap here, but they both were filed in March 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So those of us that remember, this ride opened in both parks in Florida and California in the fall of 2019. So we've talked about this a little bit, I think in the primordial patent, that only in the U.S. you have a 1-year grace period. And it's kind of wild that Disney did this, but they did not file the patents until months after the ride was open, which is a little interesting. I'm sure there's a story behind it. The other issue is, not issue, but the other thing is that's interesting about it is if we remember March 2020, they filed it in the end of March 2020. And that's when the pandemic had started. So both parks were closed, and they still filed these patents. So I'm assuming they were already written. Maybe they were just being reviewed by the inventors. But as far as the timing goes, it's a little interesting to me, because I know once the pandemic started, places that were going to be seriously affected, like theme parks, started to cost cut everything they could. So it's interesting to me that they filed these patents, almost a week after both our parks closed in the U.S. But moving forward, this is the Saber cutting patent is the first one we're going to talk about.
Yes, and can I describe the scene?
Sure.
Actually, in the scenes, both of the patents are in the scene, right?
The second video is right before this, and that's a teaser, but come back and watch our second video.
Yes, but in this same scene, there's both patents, and I'm probably not going to tell you what the other patent is, but this patent is the saber cutting, where you escaped you think you escaped, like the what's the guy's name again?
Kylo Ren,
and so the scene before this patent, you see the other patent, which we'll describe in another video or this video. You think you escaped him because the door closed, but then suddenly through the ceiling, his lightsaber goes through it, and it starts to cut a ring in the ceiling. I was really surprised because I don't know how they gave it that effect of the cutting. Like, my first guess was that there was like a little sliver in the ceiling, and then when it opens a little bit for the lightsaber, and the lightsaber pushes open. But my dad opened my mind where basically, so there's this kind of a turntable where it's like this opening on this on this open panel, and then it starts to move, and then the lightsaber goes through it and moves with it, which I was just in disbelief because I did not know that's how it worked.
Okay, so as Will has said, we're going to roll through the patent here really quick. So they have claims basically to this idea that you have a panel in a ceiling, and one of them is open, and that's called their viewing window. And they showed so just rolling for the patent here. Figure 2 shows the wheel that they're going to put above this open panel, and it's going to have a circular slot in it. Moving on to figure 3, it shows us the panels in the ceiling. It's a little different. We'll show the video, and it's not a bunch of square rectangular panels like it is in this picture, but that's the basic idea. You have one that's open. Figure 4A and 4B show you this from the top view. You have a wheel with a slot in it. Figure 5 shows you from as you're sitting in this supposed elevator where the wheel would be in dashed. Figure 6 and 7 basically show you the idea where from the top again that you're not going to see, you're down inside this, but the wheel turns and starts exposing the slot, and we'll show in the videos. So once the slot gives a big enough hole, they drop the lightsaber down on an arm, and so it comes into the room, so you think Kylo Ren's attacking the top of your elevator, which is a great effect. The first time I went on this ride, I was wildly impressed.
Yeah.
Figure 8 shows they do have one claim too. So basically the claims, what we call the device
Wait,
claim.
in the scene, are you in an elevator and then you exit the elevator when he cuts the ceiling open?
Yeah, I think to get away from
I never knew that. I never knew that. That scene was an elevator.
I think you're supposed to be in a lift and he's coming after you. But you don't actually go up or down, I don't believe, on this one.
Yeah.
And so figure 8 shows the lightsaber coming through, and it also shows that there's a projector in the room, and we can show pictures, but it's actually projecting that kind of red, charred mark, to make you believe that he's actually sticking his lightsaber through the ceiling and cutting metal.
It's kind of like heat, like the heat from the metal.
Yep. And then they also have, so that would be, the projector only comes in independent claims and the device claims, and then also is talked about in the method claim. And then in figure 9s and 10, they talk about this idea of having a lightsaber that spins and it has irregular outsides, essentially, to make it look irregular and jagged, as they say, with texture. So once they start spinning it, it looks like a lightsaber does traditionally. That you kind of get that, in the original movies, there's definitely, it's not just a straight cylinder. You see some movement on the edges. And so that's something they use in this one too. And so that's basically, they got a patent on it. Whether or not they needed a patent on it, I don't know who would reuse this or who they're trying to stop from using this. If there's some, obviously Universal comes to mind, if there's some sort of Harry Potter thing where they would be shooting a wand through a ceiling, but it seems pretty particular to this ride and something where I don't know if the patent was actually worth getting, but it's a really cool effect. It's cool that they patented it.
Are they getting any new Harry Potter rides in the new Epic Universe?
Yes. So that's where I would compare it to. Is like what
I think I saw this thing where so on the Harry Potter ride, is it a roller coaster or is it a dark ride? Or what type of ride is it?
The Harry Potter ride is the Ministry of Magic.
Oh yeah, they use like the I think they kind of use like our Indiana Jones patent on it, like because there's that
would be more the Spider-Man ride. So the rumor is, and we're gonna do a video on this actually in the future, is that the Harry Potter ride may use kind of sort of Tower of Terror type elevators. And they did file a patent on that. That's totally rumor mill.
Or that this is the biggest rumor that so there's this Jurassic Park ride that isn't a water ride. It's actually like a vehicle where you're trying to escape the Dominic's Rex, and he like walks behind you and on the track, and like it's supposed to be that sort of vehicle.
Yeah,
but there's rumored to be a scene where it's glass. And there's like a bunch of like evil magic or like gold above you. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to be like the girl in the pink dress comes in, and she like tries to fire her wand at you, but she misses and hits like the glass ceiling.
Are you talking about Professor Umbridge?
Yes, this is just a rumor, but it's supposed to be like like when the with the 3D-ish, and when she hits the glass, it's supposed to be timed, and like there's supposed to be a camera, kind of like what my dad talked about, where it like shows like meltingness or like breaks. She's like, how about a little dark, evil magic or heavy gold for your kind. Then she starts zapping it and like giving it the effect of like this, of like burning, but nothing goes through the ceiling. Yeah, but so that's what it's supposed to be. So they could get away with this.
Yep. That might be interesting to use the same kind
Yep.
of idea. That one track ride is what they use for Transformers, Spider-Man, and then I think Jurassic Park in Singapore uses it.
Yes.
Okay. So that might be
Wait,
that.
which Singapore Jurassic Park ride? The River Rapid ride or the?
Well, that might be right. There's somewhere, it's overseas, I think in Asia, but they have a Jurassic Park that uses the Spider-Man type car that's more like the Indiana Jones.
And
So
like they got the creative idea of making so the Dominic Rex can walk behind you and on the track.
Yeah, and that's in the car, the Spider-Man type car.
Yeah.
So anyway, maybe Disney did have an idea that Universal would try to use this. That's why they got the patent. They have it. Again, timing's interesting. It's interesting that they filed it after they opened the ride, which only limits them to filing in the U.S. because most international countries will not give you a grace period. It's also interesting when they filed it right after their park closed in March of 2020. But as far as Rise of the Resistance goes, it's a great ride. I was totally enthralled by this part where the saber comes down and Kylo Ren's chasing you. It was super interesting, so I'm glad they got a patent on it. I somewhat question whether, they really need a patent to exclusively use this trick, but like Will said, there may be a reason based on what Universal is doing in Epic Universe. And that's all we had on this one.
Yeah, remember how I said like Universal could get away with it? The reason why they can get away with it because there isn't something opening; it's just projected, but it gives gives vibes of.
So she's projected as breaking the ceiling.
Yeah, no, it's so it's like all about timing. So like you see like the 3D glasses off like a screen, where like the wand magic is going onto the ceiling and what it looks like, and then there's a projector projecting onto the glass, or the glass is just projected, and it looks like it's melting or something.
Okay. That could also work, and if it's rumored to be the kind of multi-elevator ride, is what I've seen more, and I plan on that we'll cover this in a future video.
Maybe.
Because Universal definitely has this kind of odd patent on these odd elevator rides, and everyone's theorizing that's what they're going to use for the Ministry of Magic ride that's going into Epic Universe. So it'd be interesting to look at that.
Yep.
But other than that, this is the first set of Rise of the Resistance.
Yep.
We're going to have another one, so stay tuned. Please subscribe, like our videos, and hopefully we'll see you again in the future.
Yep. Can I mention what the patent or what the second magic trick or patent is in the scene before we do that video?
You can only tease it.
Okay. I'll give you a hint. It's like an illusion between in physical animatronic something, and then there's also a screen projecting Kylo Ren.
All right. So stay tuned.
Yep.
Will sign us off.
Have a great day.
Goodbye, everybody.